In this week's episode, we're going to talk about Mega Knobs. Mega Knobs are pretty much the same as they've always been. They are a little bit cheaper now. So they are movement 4 inches, so they did reduce an inch of movement, which is way better than the D6 movement they had a long time ago. Weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 5, strength 5, toughness 4, 3 wounds, 3 attacks, 6 leadership. The boss has 7 and a 2-up armor save. And they have a power claw and custom shootout and stick bombs. And any model replaces custom shootout and power claw with 2 kill saws, or any model replaces custom shooter with a combi weapon. So Mega Knobs pretty much haven't changed a whole lot. They're still going to be the slow, monstrous, power claw wielding behemoths they've always been. But how do you want to use them? So they aren't really too popular right now, but there are ways to play them if you want to play them. So they are, with the basic weapons, 35 points each. And with a unit of 3 minimum, that's only 105 points for 3 Mega Knobs. So that gives you some options on what you want to do with them. You can jump them onto an objective and make them very hard to pull off an objective. You can teleport them in if you want to. But you probably want to do that with small units. You want to do big units with that. And of course, you can always take 2 units of 10 Mega Knobs, mob them up, and then jump them. Or you can put them in a battle wagon. Say a Bone Breaker, you want to teleport in, put in 9 of these guys, a War Banner, and a Pain Boy, and drop that in, let the Bone Breaker charge, and then get those guys out next turn to do some more damage. But another option, which I think is a great option, is take 2 units of 10 Mega Knobs, mob them up, and then march them across the field behind a Grot Shield. And the reason for that is that way you can keep the War Banner with them, because these guys really need a War Banner, because otherwise they're going to be hitting on 4s with whatever option you give them. And being able to hit on 3s with their power claws or kill saws is going to make a huge difference with that sheer number of attacks that they have. Maybe even a Weird Boy to give them Warpath, because now hitting on 3s with that many attacks, that's going to be absolutely devastating for whatever you're charging. And of course they are strength 10 with their power claws or kill saws, which means they're way better at wounding knights than they should be. So having that strength 10 is really pretty important against toughness 8 models, as opposed to like a strength 4 model that only becomes 8. So, and of course, depending on how you're going to use them is what clan you're going to give them. So if you're going to take units of 3, then Death Skulls is an excellent choice for small units of Mega Knobs. Because you get that one reroll to hit, to wound, and damage, and you're only getting a few attacks, so that's a pretty good benefit. And of course, then they also gain that 6-up invulnerable save, which really isn't going to play into a whole lot, because most of the time you're going to be able to take an armor save of 5 anyway, even against 5 or 6 anyway against most weapons. So a 6-up invul save isn't great, except in very few cases. And that's basically knights, because they're probably not going to use stomps against these guys because they are 3 wounds, and they would get a 4-up save against a stomp. So they'll probably use their big chainsword attack, so you will need the invul save for that. So you can rebuke 1 or 2 of those chainsaw attacks. That would be great. Evil Sons is probably the most obvious choice for these guys, because they are going to gives them the extra movement, so it takes them back up to 5 of the rest of your army, and that all-important +1 to charge, especially if you're going to teleport them or jump them. Then you will definitely want to use Evil Sons for that extra charge distance. Bad Moons, of course, they're not really shooty. You're not going to really do a whole lot with that. And the other clan, and Goths would be okay too if they get the Warpath if they get Warpath for the extra attack, because then you might be getting some 6s, and extra attacks definitely would not be a bad idea. But again, you have to get them actually get them in combat with Goths, and it's a little bit harder without the extra movement of Evil Sons. So the Goths in the battle wagon Bone Breaker might not be a bad way to go. So let's talk about the weapon upgrades. So the Combi Scorches are pretty expensive. They're like 17 points each. So that bumps your price up to, is that 13? So what was that, 48 points? And while Scorchers are good, they're not, I don't know if they're that good. but it gives you a very, especially I guess if you're doing 3 units of 3, a couple combi scorches wouldn't be too bad. Especially if they're sitting on an objective or you're just kind of running them around in a truck. Because man missiles, the old 3 Mega Knobs in a truck, is still a pretty viable stratagem, especially if you're using Death Skulls. So, because you get that extra, you get all those nice rerolls. But the other expense is the 2 kill saws. And while I love kill saws, it's 23 points, bumping your total price to 43 points. I guess that's not a whole lot. It's only 7 more than base. But it gives you an extra attack. It gives you a -4 AP and flat 2 damage instead of D3 damage. And so with Warpath, then you're talking 5 attacks per model, with a War Banner hitting on 3s and flat 2 damage at -4. So even a 2-up armor guy isn't going to get a save against that. Or the 2-up armor becomes a 6-up save, and a 3-up armor loses their save entirely. So, which is really good against knights, because then you're just every wound is 2 damage because they get no save in combat. So Mega Knobs used to be really good against knights in previous editions. They're still really going to be really good against knights in this edition, to be honest. But it's going to be a sacrifice. You're spending a lot of points to kill a knight. You're going to be spending basically a point for point. 10 Mega Knobs with kill saws is about the same as a knight, and could probably kill it if they get the charge off with a War Banner and Warpath. So but if they don't kill it, then it's going to be chainsawing through them pretty easily. But if they use their stomps, that would be really good for you. But hopefully a smart player wouldn't do that, because it's going to take 2 stomps to kill 1 Mega Knob, and it loses some extra damage. So, what do you think about Mega Knobs? I'm kind of on the fence about them. They really haven't fit my playstyle, so I haven't played them yet. I do have a lot of Mega Knobs. I have like 16, plus a big mech in Mega Armor, which is magnetized, of course, so I can run them as a regular Mega Knob. But I said, they just haven't really fit the lists I've played yet, so I haven't played them yet. So I do want to see how they do. Again, a 2-up armor save is pretty good in this edition. I mean, even this last cannon, they're going to get a save of some kind, which is way more than anything else in the Orc army is going to get. And they could even easily survive. They have a 1/3 chance of surviving a last cannon shot if they roll a 1 or 2 for damage. So you get a save and only a 2/3 chance of killing a model from a last cannon. That's not bad odds on your side. And they're probably not going to be using a whole lot of anti-infantry weapon on these guys, being a 2-up armor save. And 3 wounds each. It's going to take a lot of shots to get through that of normal weapons. So let me know your thoughts about Mega Knobs. I said, I'm really much on the fence about them for this edition. I have to give them a try. But there's a lot of cool things and fun things you can do with them, for sure. And thanks for watching. Thank you for watching this episode of Talking About Orcs. Please subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications for new Talking About Orcs videos every Wednesday, new battle reports every Friday, and hobby videos whenever I can. Thanks for watching.